Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. If you'd like to go through all the rules you need for Warcry, then check out my How to Play Warcry series, parts 1 to 14. But for now, let's dive straight in to the rule that you've come here to see. Now we've covered all the rules you need to play Warcry in the series from part 1 to 14, it's time to move on and look at the chaotic beasts and thralls. Many of the beasts that make their lairs in the lands around the Varanspire are little more than frenzied monsters, but others possess an unsettling cunning and will even follow a warband into battle in return for fresh meat or some other darker incentive. These frenzied monsters and mutated abominations are known as chaotic beasts and thralls. A fighter with the chaotic beast faction rune mark on their fighter card is referred to as a chaotic beast. A chaotic beast is a type of fighter that belongs to no player's warband. Chaotic beasts will come into play during a battle when twist cards with the wild creatures rune mark are drawn. Like all other fighters, chaotic beasts each have a fighter card that details their characteristics and weapons, and they'll also have an ability card. Each wild creature's twist card will explain if and how any chaotic beasts are set up on the battlefield. During a battle, if there are any chaotic beasts on the battlefield, use the following rules. First, we'll look at territorial predators. Chaotic beasts treat all fighters as enemy fighters, except for fighters that have the same combination of rune marks as themselves, which they then treat as friendly fighters. This means that a chaotic beast will treat another chaotic beast as an enemy fighter if it does not have identical rune marks, for example, if it has a different fighter card. However, chaotic beasts will always treat thralls, which we'll cover later on in the video, as enemy fighters even if they do share identical rune marks. Next, we'll cover bestial intellects. When it is a player's turn to choose a fighter from their warband to activate, they can instead choose a chaotic beast that has not yet activated. When they do so, the player first rolls a dice. On a 3 to 6, they can activate that chaotic beast as normal. On a 1 to 2, their opponent can instead activate that chaotic beast. When this happens, it still counts as the turn of the player who chose the chaotic beast, despite their opponent being the one who gets to activate it. If you are playing a battle with more than 2 players and a roll of 1 to 2 occurs when activating a chaotic beast, the opponents of the activating player roll off and the winner can activate that chaotic beast. If there are any chaotic beasts in play that have not yet been activated that combat phase, a player must pick one of those chaotic beasts to activate and cannot pass. A chaotic beast can never use the wait action as its first action in its activation. Now let's look at chaotic beasts and abilities. When a player activates a chaotic beast, they can use any of their ability dice to use abilities with that chaotic beast. A chaotic beast can use abilities in the same manner as any other fighter. As well as the universal abilities, which you'll find on page 40 in the core rulebook, chaotic beasts have their own abilities. The abilities for Furies and Raptorics are shown in the core book on page 48. In this video, I'm using the Chaos Warhounds as my chaotic beasts for the examples that we go through. You'll find the fighter cards and abilities for those in the Agents of Chaos Warcry supplement book. If you've purchased the Chaotic Beasts box set for Warcry, then you can also find their specific fighter cards and abilities in that box set. And I've done a video on this previously, and you can find that in the description below. Now we've covered the Chaotic Beasts and how to use them with the twist cards, let's look how we can use them as thralls. The warbands that seek Archaean's favour can dominate these weak-minded beasts with the enrapturing call of raise monoliths, or else bring them into servitude through dark pacts and gruesome offerings. In certain battles, a player may be able to include special fighters in their warband known as thralls. This is usually in a campaign battle when a warband's territory rules allow them to do so, but there are also other ways of including thralls in a warband. For example, the Sinister Bargain twist card that allows a player to include one thrall in their warband. You can find all the rules you need for a campaign battle in my series where I go through from start to finish everything you need to know to run a campaign in Warcry. If a player is allowed to include any thralls in their warband, they can choose any fighter with the Chaotic Beast faction rune mark that has the Thrall rune mark to become their thrall and include that fighter in their warband for that battle. Thralls are ignored for the purposes of the rule that requires fighters in a warband to all share the same faction rune mark. When a Chaotic Beast is chosen to become a thrall, it is no longer subject to the territorial predators or the bestial intellects rules, and is instead treated as a friendly fighter in that player's warband. When a player activates a thrall in their warband, they can use any of their ability dice to use abilities with that thrall. A thrall can use the universal abilities and the abilities on their ability card. Now you know how to use Chaotic Beasts and Thralls in your battles, and you've gone through all the rules from 1 to 14, you've got everything you need to play Warcry. But this is just the beginning, and the game really comes into its own with the narrative campaign mode. Come and join me where I go through all the rules for the narrative campaign mode from start to finish and include everything you need to know to run a campaign in Warcry. I'll put links to the narrative campaign series at the end of this video, and that'll go to the playlist where you can find all the videos that go through everything you need to know. Thanks for watching. I really hope this video was helpful. You can find the next episode in the series at the end of this video, and also a link to the playlist where you can go right through from part 1 right through to the end and find out everything you need to know to play a Warcry narrative campaign. I'll put links in the description below to all the things we've used during this series, and links to the Catacombs set, the different warbands we've used, the dice and the card sets. There'll be affiliate links to Element Games, but they won't cost you anything extra. In fact, they could save you up to 20%, and for every sale made through an affiliate link, I get a small commission, and that's going to help me develop the channel. So thanks so much for that support. I really appreciate it. If you like the channel and the content I put out and would like to support it further, please take a look at my Patreon page. It's a really great community where we meet on Discord to share our hobby, join in with different conversations around different aspects of the game, and a great place to hang out. You can also find perks on there that you're just not going to get anywhere else, and it'd be awesome to see you there on Patreon, and I'll put the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.